Welcome to Frema Audiobooks, your hub for inspiring and thought-provoking audiobooks that can transform the way you think and act. Today, we're diving into Start With Why by Simon Sinek, a must-listen guide on leadership, purpose, and finding the driving force behind everything you do. Don't forget to subscribe to Frema Audiobooks and hit the notification bell so you never miss a new episode. If you enjoy this audiobook, make sure to like, comment, and share. Your support helps us continue bringing life-changing stories and insights straight to you. Introduction. Start with why. Finding your purpose. Simon Sinek's Start With Why is a powerful exploration of why some people and organizations inspire loyalty, innovation, and long-term success, while others struggle despite talent or resources. At the heart of his message is a simple yet profound idea. People don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. Leaders and companies that understand their purpose, their why, inspire action and loyalty, far beyond what logical arguments or features can achieve. Sinek introduces the concept of the golden circle, 3 layers that explain human behavior and decision-making. The innermost circle is why, the purpose, cause, or belief that drives you. The middle circle is how, the processes and values that bring your why to life. The outer circle is what, the products or services you offer. Most organizations start from the outside in, focusing on what and how, but the most influential leaders start from the inside out, beginning with why. This book isn't just theory. It's practical and actionable. Sinek provides examples from iconic leaders and companies like Apple, Martin Luther King Jr., and the Wright brothers, showing how their clarity of why drove innovation, influence, and loyalty. It's a framework for anyone who wants to inspire others, whether in business, education, or personal life. Think about your own life or organization. Do you know why you do what you do, beyond earning a paycheck or completing tasks? Sinek challenges us to find clarity and purpose, because it becomes the compass for decisions, actions, and communication. When you start with why, you connect emotionally with people, creating trust and influence that transcends logic. As we go through this audiobook, we'll explore Sinek's ideas in a friendly, conversational way. You'll hear practical examples, reflective exercises, and challenges designed to help you uncover your why, communicate it effectively, and inspire action in yourself and others. Whether you're leading a team, building a business, or just seeking personal clarity, these principles provide a roadmap for meaningful influence. Chapter 1. Assume you know. The power of why. Sinek begins by addressing a common misconception. Most people and organizations don't know their why, even if they think they do. They operate reactively, focusing on what they do, their products, services, or tasks, rather than the underlying purpose that drives them. This lack of clarity often leads to inconsistency, weak influence, and disengaged teams or customers. Understanding why is not optional. It's the foundation for inspiration and sustainable success. He illustrates this with examples of companies and leaders who clearly understood their why. Apple doesn't just sell computers and phones. They challenge the status quo, empower creativity, and think differently. Martin Luther King Jr. didn't simply organize marchers. He inspired a vision of equality and freedom that moved millions. Starting with why creates emotional resonance, making people care and act because they believe, not just because they're persuaded by features or logic. Sinek also emphasizes the biological and psychological basis for this principle. People are naturally drawn to leaders and ideas that resonate with their limbic brain, the part responsible for feelings and decision-making, not language or rational thought. When you communicate your why, you engage people at a deeper, emotional level, fostering loyalty, trust, and long-term influence. This is why leaders who start with why are able to inspire more effectively than those who focus on what alone. He introduces a practical challenge. Start observing organizations, leaders, or teams you admire and ask, Why do they exist? Why does their work matter? Often, the ones that inspire aren't the most technologically advanced or the richest. They simply have a clear and compelling purpose. This clarity sets them apart and creates alignment, commitment, and extraordinary results. Challenge number 1. Reflect on your why. Sinek encourages you to think deeply. Why do you do what you do? Beyond earning money or gaining recognition, what drives you to get up every day and act? Write it down, refine it, and begin using it as a guiding principle in your decisions. Clarity of why is the first step toward influence, motivation, and meaningful action. Finally, remember this. Starting with why isn't just a leadership technique. It's a way of living intentionally. When you know your purpose, you act with consistency, inspire trust, and make decisions that align with what truly matters. Sinek teaches that understanding your why transforms not only your work, but your ability to lead, influence, and create lasting impact. Chapter 2. An alternative perspective. The Golden Circle in Action. In Chapter 2, Simon Sinek introduces the Golden Circle in greater detail, showing how it applies in real-life leadership and organizations. The Golden Circle has 3 layers: why at the center, how in the middle, and what on the outside. Most people and organizations communicate from the outside in. They start with what, then how, and hope it resonates. The most inspiring leaders, however, start from the inside out. They clarify their why first, then articulate how, and finally what. This inside-out approach creates emotional resonance, loyalty, and trust. Sinek provides compelling examples. Consider Apple again. They don't lead with the features of their products, what, or even the design processes, how. Instead, they communicate their why, to challenge the status quo and empower creativity. Customers connect with this purpose emotionally and are drawn to the brand, making them fiercely loyal. The Golden Circle shows that people buy into your beliefs, not your products. Understanding this distinction is the foundation for inspiring leadership and influence. He also highlights leaders like Martin Luther King Jr. and the Wright brothers. King's speeches resonated because he clearly communicated his belief in equality and justice. The Wright brothers succeeded not because they had more resources than competitors, but because they were driven by a compelling why, the belief that humans could achieve controlled flight. Starting with why unites people behind a vision and creates action that goes beyond logic or technical superiority. Sinek explains the biological reason this works. The limbic brain, responsible for decision-making and feelings, responds to why. The neocortex, responsible for rational thought and language, processes what. Leaders who communicate from the inside out speak directly to the limbic brain, inspiring trust and loyalty before logic even enters the conversation. This is why employees, customers, and followers are drawn to leaders with a clear purpose. The why matters more than the how or what. Challenge number 2. Apply the Golden Circle. Sinek encourages you to examine your own life, organization, or team and map out your Golden Circle. Ask, what is my why? How do I bring it to life? What are the tangible outputs? Begin practicing communicating from the inside out, starting with purpose before process or product. This approach transforms how people perceive you, how they respond, and ultimately, how much influence you can have. Finally, remember this. The Golden Circle isn't just a framework for business. It's a way to inspire and align every aspect of your life. When you start with why, your actions, decisions, and communications become consistent, authentic, and powerful. Sinek shows that the most impactful leaders and organizations don't convince people with facts or features. They connect with beliefs, and that connection drives extraordinary results. Chapter 3. Leaders need a following. Building trust and loyalty. Simon Sinek emphasizes a crucial truth in Chapter 3. Leaders cannot inspire alone. They need a following. But not just any following. They need people who believe in the why and are willing to commit their energy, loyalty, and creativity to that purpose. Leadership is not about authority or control. It's about creating trust and alignment so others choose to follow you voluntarily. This is the essence of influence and lasting impact. Sinek points out that many organizations fail because they focus on short-term goals, or what they do rather than articulating why they exist. Employees, customers, and partners may comply, but they won't feel inspired or emotionally connected. True leadership happens when people believe in the purpose and see themselves as part of a movement. Leaders who start with why create environments where loyalty, engagement, and innovation flourish naturally. He shares examples of leaders who inspired followings through clarity of purpose. Martin Luther King Jr., for instance, didn't merely give speeches about policies. He inspired millions to act because he communicated a vision of equality and freedom that resonated deeply with human values. Similarly, Apple's leadership fosters a following because its why, challenging the status quo and empowering creativity, connects emotionally with customers and employees alike. People don't just buy products. They buy into the belief system behind them. Sinek also emphasizes the role of trust in building a following. Leaders who start with why are consistent, authentic, and transparent. This consistency fosters trust, which multiplies influence. Employees who understand the why are motivated to contribute beyond their job descriptions, and customers who connect with the why become loyal advocates. Influence grows exponentially when purpose is clear and communicated consistently. Challenge number 3. Identify your followers. Sinek encourages you to think about who is naturally drawn to your why: colleagues, friends, customers, or team members. How can you align your communication, actions, and decisions with your purpose to build trust and inspire loyalty? Start small by sharing your why authentically and noticing who resonates with it. Over time, these followers become partners in action, amplifying your impact and helping you achieve your vision. Finally, remember this: leadership isn't about commanding authority, it's about creating trust, inspiring belief, and attracting people to your vision. Starting with why is the key to building a loyal following that shares your values, supports your mission, and works toward a common purpose. When people follow because they believe, not because they are forced, extraordinary results become possible. Chapter 4. How to rally those who believe. Communicating your why. In Chapter 4, Simon Sinek dives into the practical side of leadership, how to communicate your why effectively so that it inspires action. Having a clear purpose is essential, but it's only the first step. The next challenge is to share that purpose in a way that resonates emotionally, connects with the right people, and motivates them to follow, support, and engage. Communication from the inside out, starting with why, is the key. Sinek emphasizes that most organizations communicate from the outside in. They talk about what they do, then explain how they do it, and only rarely hint at why they do it. While this may attract attention, initially, it fails to create deep, lasting loyalty. The Golden Circle principle shows that starting with why taps into the limbic brain, which drives feelings, trust, and decision-making. People buy into beliefs first, then rationalize with facts and features. He provides concrete examples of leaders and companies that communicate effectively. Martin Luther King Jr.'s speeches were not detailed policy proposals. They conveyed a vision, a belief in equality and justice that compelled millions to act. Similarly, Apple's marketing emphasizes their purpose, challenging the status quo and empowering creativity, before even discussing product features. This approach inspires loyalty and engagement far beyond what logic alone can achieve. Sinek also stresses the importance of consistency. Communicating your why is not a one-time event. It must be embedded in every action, decision, and message. When leaders and organizations live and communicate their why consistently, it builds credibility, trust, and alignment. Employees and customers recognize authenticity, which strengthens connection and encourages voluntary commitment to the cause. Challenge number 4. Craft your why statement. Sinek invites you to write a clear, concise why statement, a sentence or two that explains your purpose, cause, or belief. Then, think about ways to communicate it consistently in your actions, conversations, and decisions. Share it with your team, peers, or community. Notice who resonates with your message. These are the people who will follow, support, and amplify your purpose. Finally, remember this. Communication is the bridge between your why and your followers. Purpose alone is invisible unless it is expressed clearly, authentically, and consistently. By starting with why in every interaction, you inspire belief, rally support, and create a movement rather than merely completing tasks. Sinek shows that when you communicate from the inside out, influence becomes natural, powerful, and lasting. Chapter 5. The Biggest Challenge. Maintaining Your Why Amid Pressure, _. In Chapter 5, Simon Sinek addresses one of the most common struggles for leaders and organizations: staying true to your why when faced with pressure, distractions, or external expectations. Knowing your purpose is one thing. Living it consistently in the real world is another. Sinek emphasizes that challenges, competition, and societal pressures often tempt people to compromise their beliefs, focus on short-term gains, or follow what seems safe. Maintaining your why requires courage, discipline, and clarity. He shares examples of organizations and leaders who stayed committed to their purpose despite enormous pressure. Apple, for instance, consistently prioritized innovation and design integrity even when market trends or competitors pushed for shortcuts. Martin Luther King Jr. remained steadfast in his vision of equality despite political pressure and personal risk. Staying true to your why creates credibility and trust. People recognize authenticity and are drawn to leaders who live by their principles, even under stress. Sinek also explains the dangers of losing sight of your why. Many organizations and individuals drift into feature-focused thinking, emphasizing what they do instead of why they do it. This leads to short-term results but erodes loyalty, inspiration, and long-term success. Employees disengage, customers lose connection, and leadership loses influence. The antidote is constant reflection and alignment. Regularly ask, are our actions and decisions reflecting our why? A practical approach he recommends is embedding your why in daily actions, communications, and policies. When the why is clear and visible, it guides decisions, inspires teams, and filters opportunities. Pressure becomes less overwhelming because choices are measured against purpose rather than fear or external expectations. Leaders who maintain alignment with their why create environments of stability, trust, and resilience, even in turbulent times. Challenge number 5. Reaffirm your why daily. Sinek invites you to create reminders, rituals, or visual cues that keep your purpose front and center. Reflect regularly on your why and assess whether your actions align. When faced with pressure, refer back to your purpose. It becomes a compass for decisions, helps you resist short-term temptations, and strengthens your influence. By reaffirming your why, you protect the core of your leadership and maintain authenticity. Finally, remember this: staying true to your why is a continual practice. External pressures, distractions, and setbacks will always exist, but your purpose is your anchor. Leaders who consistently act in alignment with their why build trust, inspire loyalty, and achieve extraordinary results over time. Sinek teaches that influence and impact are not just about what you do. They are about living your beliefs consistently, even when it's hard. Chapter 6. How to use why. Turning purpose into action and impact. _. In Chapter 6, Simon Sinek shifts from theory to practical application. Once you know your why, how do you use it to create real impact? Knowing your purpose is the foundation. but translating it into action is what inspires teams, drives innovation, and motivates others to follow. Sinek emphasizes that the how, your unique processes, strategies, and behaviors, is what brings your why to life. It's the bridge between belief and tangible results. He illustrates this with examples of companies like Southwest Airlines. Their why, making air travel accessible and enjoyable, informs every decision, from employee hiring to customer service and route planning. The how, friendly service, low-cost fares, and fun branding, translates the purpose into action. By aligning daily operations with their why, Southwest consistently inspires loyalty and maintains a strong culture. This demonstrates that the why isn't abstract. It's practical and actionable. Sinek also emphasizes personal application. Individuals who know their why can use it to make career decisions, focus on meaningful projects, and communicate effectively with colleagues, clients, or audiences. The why acts as a filter. Opportunities and actions that align with your purpose amplify impact, while those that don't are easily identified and avoided. By acting in alignment with your why, you naturally inspire trust, influence, and commitment. He highlights that communicating your why repeatedly and authentically is crucial. Leaders who live and share their purpose consistently create movements rather than simply managing tasks. Employees and followers align emotionally, fostering loyalty and innovation. This is how small teams or individuals can achieve outsized results by turning purpose into daily action that resonates with others. Challenge number 6. Align action with why. Sinek encourages you to review your daily decisions, projects, and interactions. Ask, does this reflect my why? Does it serve my purpose and inspire others? Identify one immediate action where you can better align with your why and implement it today. The cumulative effect of small, consistent actions aligned with purpose is extraordinary. Finally, remember this. The power of why is realized through action, alignment, and communication. Knowing your purpose inspires internally, but applying it consistently inspires externally. Sinek teaches that true influence and impact come from living your why, translating it into action, and rallying others around a shared belief. When you act from purpose, everything you do carries meaning, authenticity, and the potential to create lasting change. Outro, lead with purpose, inspire with why. And there you have it, the transformative lessons from Start With Why by Simon Sinek. From discovering your purpose, understanding the golden circle, rallying followers, and turning your why into action, these principles give you a roadmap for authentic leadership, influence, and meaningful impact. Sinek reminds us that success isn't just about what you do or how you do it. It's about why you do it, and how that purpose inspires others to follow, trust, and engage. Take a moment to reflect. Which insight resonated most with you today? Is it defining your why, communicating it consistently, building a loyal following, or translating purpose into action? Each principle is a challenge, but also an incredible opportunity. Small, deliberate steps aligned with your why compound over time, creating influence, loyalty, and extraordinary results that go far beyond traditional success metrics. Remember, starting with why isn't just for leaders or organizations. It's a way of living intentionally. Your why guides your decisions, aligns your actions, and inspires trust in everyone you interact with. When you live and act from purpose, you naturally create influence, impact, and connection that lasts. Before you go, be sure to subscribe to our channel, like this video, and share it with anyone who wants to lead with purpose and inspire others. Comment below with the insight that impacted you most, and explore more audiobooks on our channel, packed with strategies, stories, and motivational lessons to help you grow personally, professionally, and intentionally. Finally, remember this: influence, leadership, and meaningful impact all start with a clear why. Define it, live it, communicate it, and watch how it transforms your life, your work, and the people around you. The journey to authentic leadership begins now with your why.